I'm back at it, everyone. We're doing another Talkie Walkie. It's like 20 degrees out. The feels like it's 10, but I'm here with my good friend Kevin Doyle. He is a comedian and probably one of the best storytellers I've ever come across. Your one-man show I saw a couple months ago at the Soho Playhouse was, you had me in stitches, my belly hurt from laughing, and I'm not like a laugher. You know, like I'm one of those guys that goes to comedy shows, and I'm just like, yeah, that was really funny, and then people are like, well, you didn't laugh at all. I'm like, no, but it was like really funny. You know, like sometimes, you know, but you got me, man, you get me.
Dude, thank you.
So good.
The first time before we knew each other, we were in Edinburgh in 2017 at the same time.
Yeah.
And I saw your flyer and it had a whole bunch of 5-star reviews, and I was just like, I hope I can meet Marcus Monroe one day. I was like, I
didn't know that.
And it wasn't until after we became friends that I remembered that. I was like, oh yeah.
I don't think you've ever told me that.
That's the first time.
Did you see my show in Edinburgh?
I didn't.
Oh, all right. Well, I didn't see yours either. So we're here. But since then I've seen a bunch of yours, and they're so fun. They're so good. So for those people out there who may not be like totally familiar with your work, explain like in short like your style of approaching like performance and like one-man shows specifically.
Yeah. Well, I spent a lot of time, a few years, just trying to write short jokes. And then I just found the people that responded the most were when I just told true stories from my life. And so, I just take a few stories at a time and usually try and weave it into like a 70-minute. Try and make it 60 minutes, but it ends up being 70.
Sure. But you got to have all that laughter time.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
everyone's laughing. You got to wait.
Exactly.
Which is true. I'm not just saying that. Like, it's so funny.
Usually I get the last story of a show, and then I build back from there because it's usually something traumatic or ridiculous. So I'm like, the past 2 shows I've had the last story for a long time, and then I just build back and find the themes to lead up to it.
That's interesting.
And then they're all like, the last show that you saw, like that story, I was like, it was so dramatic that I was like, I gotta tell this on stage a year from now once I get over it. But
it was so good. Can you tell everyone like the gist of it?
Yeah, I by accident, I kind of fell for a girl pretty hard that I met online.
You're a hopeless romantic.
A hopeless romantic.
I love it.
And she needed some money, and so I loaned her $15,000. And
$15,000.
$15K.
If my wife was like, "Hey man, I need $15,000," I'd be like, "Go talk to your sister." I'd be like, "I don't know. What are you doing?"
My friends were like, when they heard the story, they're like, the craziest part of that story is like, you're so cheap. I just can't imagine you like doing that.
No, I don't see you as a cheap person. You just offered to buy me coffee, so that's very nice.
There you go. I see. I'm working on it.
Yeah. So are you frugal though, like in your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I've gotten over it because now that I'm like a little more established. Well, once in your 20s, you're just so poor that it's like, I literally think I had to be.
Yeah. So especially living in the city, it's so expensive.
Yeah, but I that is like a thing that is hard. Once I get stressed, then I get cheap.
Okay.
And then, and then I
Well, I cut you off. So $15,000 to this girl.
Yeah. And
you don't have to give away the whole.
Yeah.
Because I'm hoping you do this show again in New York.
Yeah, I filmed it. It'll come out this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah. So
amazing.
That happened, and then around the same time, my motorcycle got stolen. So I was just in a real deep hole of not making the wisest decisions, including who I got to insure my motorcycle, which was Geico.
Are they not good? No bueno?
They're not good at making you feel safe after your motorcycle gets stolen.
That's true.
So yeah, that was that show. It's called Foolproof, and
good.
And it'll be out sometime this year. I'm working on the next show already.
Oh my gosh, you're always working. I remember one of the first shows I saw of yours. You were telling a story about your landlord and like suing your landlord. And then there was a story about you first moving to New York and joining some people for dinner and not having money to pay for the food you ordered. I mean, like you put yourself in these like to me they're like awkward situations, and like I hate confrontation, but you seem just to be able to like tackle it head on. It's very impressive.
Oh yeah, I think storytelling, stand-up, that gave me an outlet to put to get over all those embarrassing stories. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that show's coming out next year as well. I did sue my landlord.
You got a big year coming up.
Yeah, you know what? After we're a few years past lockdown and COVID and stuff.
Sure.
But I was just like, went on a binge. I was like, I have to like finish all the stuff to move on to like other things. So I filmed 3 shows the past year.
Wow, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Whenever I see you perform, you inspire me to like look at my life and write a story about something that happened to me. Like, just because I get inspired from your storytelling ability, and I feel like I'm used to short jokes.
Yeah.
But your long form is so good. So you did inspire me. I don't know if you ever heard my balls story.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well I think after I saw Foolproof is when I started writing that.
I appreciate you saying that, because I remember I saw Mike Birbiglia when I first moved to New York, before I ever got on stage. And
was it my girlfriend's boyfriend?
no, it was before that. It was Sleepwalk With Me.
Oh yeah. I saw that. That was great.
Yeah, and I think that I went to theater school, and so.
Me too.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I did.
Really? Like acting and stuff?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
I went to Marymount for theater.
Oh, dude, I auditioned there.
You did?
And I didn't get in.
What? I thought everyone got into Marymount.
No. I remember I came here for like a trip, and I tried to convince my parents to buy me tickets to see Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick and
the producers. Absolutely. Oh God.
Yeah,
They're so gay. I love it. They're so awesome.
We got to start singing.
I know. I can't sing. Can you sing?
Oh yeah.
Oh, see, I'm
I'm a
jealous.
big karaoke guy.
Well, I think it's Marymount's loss. I only went there for 2 years. Then I went to film school, but I
I think I like, I don't know. I like serious stuff. I like, if I ever had my druthers, I would just be like super serious. But then whenever I do acting stuff or writing stuff, it's always comedic. So I think the storytelling thing satisfies me, because I'm like, cool, you can be funny 90% of the time, but there's like a little hint of like it's sad when your balls swell up. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But it is scary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's like,
oh yeah, no, you saw me do it at Littlefield. That's
yeah.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it is terrifying. I mean, you know, it's kind of.
So it's like, anytime you get an opportunity to like take, you know, get that stuff out on stage that is like actually sucked in the moment, but is funny when you look back, you know?
Yeah.
There's like a Mel Brooks quote or something, but it's like, you know, like getting hit, like basically dying is hilarious, but a paper cut is tragic.
Oh,
or something.
okay, yeah.
I don't know. There's some I messed.
We'll
that
have to
quote
look up the quote. Someone comment below what the actual quote is.
Yeah, but it's something like that it's like, oh, it's fun then to like take the things that actually really, really sucked.
Yeah.
And then make fun of them on stage, because then you can be like, sweet.
Well, that's where comedy comes from, tragedy, right? So that's like that's what everyone says, I think.
Yeah.
Right. That's great. I love it. So, what is the show you're working on now?
Well, you know, I'm literally working on my submission to Edinburgh now, and like, the way people might not know, but like, you kind of have to like submit your show before you even know what it is, before you start working on it. But I basically and the person, my PR person I talked to, and she's like, you always get yourself in escalating situations. But I'm not joking. I was flown. I teach chess.
Yes.
That's one of my jobs.
Yes.
And I did get flown to Singapore to teach chess.
What?
For a few months. And it turned out...
They don't have people that teach chess in Singapore?
Well, that's what you would think, right? And then I got flown there, and then it turns out that this guy flew me there was actually kind of a bit of like a scam artist.
Oh, no.
And so I talk about that. He was exposed over time, but yeah, he kind of stole a lot of money from me and a bunch of my friends.
No.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And so
I can't believe your friends still hang out with you, considering you give $15,000 to a girl you fell in love with. The scam artist took their money from you. You make them pay for your lunch on the first time. You're right. No, I'm only teasing. You're a great guy. I am only kidding. But
no, I think I think anytime there's like something that pisses me off, I end up. This guy made me really mad. Mm-hmm. And he really did like lie and kind of scheme a bunch of my friends out of a lot of money.
Oh God!
And but there's a lot of humor to the story. So
okay.
So I'm gonna do a show that kind of teaches people about the logistics and the strategies of how to play chess, and then weave this story in that kind of it's like a real life chess match.
What is the name of this show? Because you got to have like some chess pun or
I did,
right?
you know. Well, I'm literally, that's on my to-do list today, is to figure it out. But I think I'm calling it After Endgame, because Endgame is the end of a chess game.
Okay.
And this is basically the idea of my show. This could change if anyone has any good ideas. Is what do you do after your Endgame?
Sorry, excuse me. Sorry.
Because also Endgame is a Taylor Swift song.
Oh, it's a great
and it's
song.
also a play.
You a Swiftie? Are you a Swiftie, Kev?
You know what? I was at the VMAs when Kanye took the mic from her.
You were?
I was.
Whoa, wait, what were you doing at the VMAs?
My friend was Jonah Hill's assistant, and they were filming Get Into the Greek at the time. And so I was on Russell Brand's guest list to the VMAs.
Incredible.
And I went, and that happened, and then Taylor Swift also, that was when she sang the You Belong With Me.
Wow.
Thing. So yeah, but
that's so cool.
I'm probably not the biggest Swiftie, but
all right.
I was there at one of the biggest cultural moments of the new millennium.
Yeah, you saw Kanye's downfall.
Oh yeah.
In person. That's incredible.
Yeah.
So what makes a good story? Because a lot of people are like, hey, I gotta tell you something that happened to me, and they'll tell me a story, and there's just like, I'm actually pretty bad at telling stories. Like if I was trying to like recap something that happened, I'm bad at it. So what makes a good story?
I think that what makes a good story is kind of like not knowing what is going to happen. Like, you know, when you're like living in a good story and you're just like, oh my gosh, like, am I gonna fall in love with this girl or am I not? And I think actually when you get on stage, then it's like just figuring out how to tell the story in a way that like people don't know people are surprised at like what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because, you know, you can always tell when people are like lying and exaggerating a story.
Sure.
And then you can also tell when it's like, if it turns out that it has no reason. So I think like, I guess what would that be? It's conflict or something, but it's like a good story is just like when you don't know what is going to happen next. And then obviously it has to be truthful in some way, even if it's like emotionally truthful. I don't know if that's the best
I think that's
answer.
Yeah, I think that's good.
But there's some part of you that is like, what the fuck is about to happen?
Yeah.
I watched because I was on the way here and but it's kind of the same as like a good joke. I watched one of your pinned TikToks with when you're like, you pull something out of your pocket and you're like, heads or tails?
Oh, right, sure, yeah.
And the guy's like, tails, and you're like, battery. And I was
So
like,
dumb.
dude, it is, but it's so, I'm like, that's like, can be applied to so many things.
True, yeah.
That it's just like, you know, if you would have said the opposite of, like, one of the two things wouldn't have been interesting. It would have been like, cool.
Right. You know, can I tell you something that's funny about that?
Yeah.
I posted that joke on TikTok, and then this guy saw the video and started making a TikTok account where he only did heads or tails to people, and it was just random objects. And then I reposted my video, and someone's like, "You copied heads or tails," and I was like, "No, I didn't." They saw my video and like were inspired by it and made their own account. I'm like being accused of stealing my own joke.
Yeah. See, that's okay. I'm sure people steal jokes.
Oh yeah.
But one thing that I realized lately,
Yeah.
I have a joke from years ago that I didn't even remember that I did. That is literally about some Drake lyric. I don't remember ever going on stage and talking about Drake, but I did.
All right.
And then my friend sent me a Pete Davidson joke from a few years ago on a TV set he did, and they're like, and my friend was serious. She's like, I think Pete Davidson stole your joke. And I'm like, I can guarantee you Pete Davidson has never seen anything I've ever talked about on stage. But sure enough, it was like very similar. And I was like, that kind of, that proves to me whatever the parallel thinking is.
Sure.
The fact that
It totally happened.
But this motherfucker, heads and tails guy,
yeah.
he stole.
He did. But you know, I commented something on one of their pages, and then they said, oh yeah, they were like, oh yeah, no, you were the reason we started doing this.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
he's just got to give credit where it's due.
Exactly.
Also, how many of those can you do? Make an entire page of that?
Apparently, dude, he's doing it. I was like, oh, why don't I think of that?
That's awesome.
That could have been my thing. I mean, I guess it is still my thing.
Yeah.
Could be. Ooh, it is brisk. Thank you for doing this talkie-walkie, and it is the coldest day we've had all year, I think.
So that's, I mean...
We're not done, I'm just saying.
Do I get an award for being the coldest talkie-walkie?
Sure, I think so. I mean, yeah, you get to be on talkie-walkie.
I'll tell you.
That's kind of cool, huh?
It is awesome. Great restaurant, by the way.
Is it?
Have you been to Corner Bistro? Dude, we're walking through the West Village.
Yeah,
and so, I mean, I think this is like one of the great neighborhoods in the world. So.
Oh, I agree with you.
No matter how cold it is.
Yeah, no, it is good. I love walking around this area at nighttime. I did a talkie-walkie with Brittany Carney, who's a really funny comic.
She's hilarious.
And it was like, it got night, and it got dark, and we were like looking into people's apartments, just being like, wow, what a life people must have who live down here.
Yeah.
You know, just like you see like Monets in their living room, and just, you know, just like crazy.
I had a guy who I taught in his house, and he would have just insane paintings.
Oh, I bet.
That were, one of them, I looked it up, I did like Google search on an image, and it was, you know, like $40 million.
Jeez.
Yeah.
For a painting?
Yeah, he was an art dealer. So he had this guy named Franz Klein. He had a Franz Klein. He had a few Basquiat's.
Oh my
He had
God.
Warhols, all this stuff, and it was like, you know, it's kind of weird being in a painting like that.
Yeah.
Being in a room with it, that's not a museum.
Yeah.
You're just like, it's just like you kind of like, once you know, you're like, I'm around paintings all the time. There's just like, you're feeling the fact that a few steps away is something worth like $20 million.
It's so weird. I did a private event in the Hamptons back in my juggle days, and it was at this mansion in the Hamptons, and they had like a little art gallery in one of their many rooms. You know, they had like a movie theater, like all the basic Hamptons rich people things.
Yeah.
But they had taken the Picassos down for this party. It was a wedding, for the wedding.
Sheesh.
And what really bothered me about this event was the agent told me it was a Game of Thrones themed wedding. So they made me go out and buy like a Game of Thrones themed costume.
Oh God.
Mind you, this is like 10 years ago or 15 years ago, like the peak of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
And so I get there, and I am the only one in Game of Thrones attire. They just wanted the juggler to look like he was from Game of Thrones.
Oh my God.
So everyone's like, why are you dressed like that? I'm like, freaking agent. But it was one of those gigs where I only had to work for like 20 minutes and I made like a couple grand.
Dude.
So not terrible, but it was just like, why? What? Ugh.
No, the secret, how much most performers will debase themselves.
Oh my gosh.
You know? Because I was thinking, the other day I was talking to someone, and they were like, how much do you like usually charge for a gig? I was like, I mean, literally there's no math or rhyme or reason to that. And also the secret you just don't want people finding out is if there's a full room, like I'll pay $50 to perform. You know what I mean? Like, this is a poorly run business.
Yeah, it truly is. Like sometimes I just don't know how many comics make it in the city just because it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And if you don't have another side hustle or a job, it is impossible.
That's why, do you want to see the Sex and the City house?
Yeah, where is it?
Right over here.
Do I?
Also, dude, we have to check my phone because you know what I'm waiting to hear back from my agent about?
I don't know.
got called back to play a pedophile
Whoa!
on CBS's FBI.
Oh man! Wow. So wait, first of all, there's a show called FBI on CBS.
Yeah, apparently it's made by the same guy that did Law and Order, so it's like Law and Order but on a different network.
Wow.
And they want me to play a pedophile. But I get shot. I get a shootout with the cops if I get it.
Oh, that's cool.
This is where Carrie Bradshaw lived in Sex and the City.
Seriously?
Uh-huh.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a full episode of that show.
Yeah. I've seen a few.
Oh, that's why they have the sign that says
have the signs.
like don't come over here. Wow. That's so cool. I mean, if you're into that. I think that's a cool thing about walking around New York is that you like, oh, this was the diner from Seinfeld.
Yeah.
You know, this was where Marilyn Monroe's skirt flew up.
Yeah.
You know, like so many iconic things in the city.
I love watching movies filmed in New York.
Oh, I love it.
That's my favorite. And I wonder, I mean, obviously a lot of people like that.
Yeah.
But to me, it's the best.
Last night, actually, it's so funny you say that. My wife and I started Only Murders in the Building.
Yeah.
And they filmed a lot of it on the Upper East Side where me and my wife live. And I paused it 1 second. I was like, "That's our building!" You know, it's just like just a sliver of it. I was like, "Oh, this is so cool!" You know, and it's just, it's kind of fun. You know, of course, a lot of movies are filmed here, but it's funny when movies that like say they're like shot in New York, or like they take place in New York, and they're clearly just like on a soundstage in Los Angeles.
Have you ever seen Eyes Wide Shut?
I've seen parts of it.
Have you ever lived Eyes Wide Shut? I'm just kidding.
Stanley Kubrick.
In that, he rebuilt all of Greenwich Village. It's all a set in England that he reconstructed.
That is crazy.
So when you see it, it is funny. It's that thing that it's like, it looks so almost there, but you're like, is not quite it. So if next time you watch it.
I don't know when that will be, but I'll maybe I'll watch some clips on the internet.
Yeah.
So let's go back to Edinburgh. So how many years have you done the fest?
I did it in 2017 and 2019.
All right.
So I've done it twice.
Okay. All right. Good experiences both times?
Yeah, both times were amazing. I mean, I feel like I'm generally a positive person. And like, I think if you have a positive attitude and like are kind of going there for the right reasons, which are what you don't even know what they are really, because it's like adult summer camp, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, so it was great. Like my first time I went, my slot was 11:15 to 12:15.
At night?
At night. And I was like, as long as I get like one person there, you know? And like, there'd be all kinds of people would show up. And then the second time it was 2 p.m. and they have great comedy fans at 2 p.m. You'd be surprised. And it was in a tent outside, so it was like bright. All the ways that you don't want to do comedy. 2 p.m. in a bright
tent.
But it like
not the best.
It made everything better when I got back. I just enjoyed it. And then when I got back and did the first show in like 100-seat theater in the dark.
Yeah.
It was like fucking so easy.
Yeah.
I was like, turn the lights on. So
my show was at 3:00.
Okay, how was that for you?
Not good. I mean, I was very happy to be there, but it was a very like hard slot because up until my show was children's programming.
Yeah.
And then my show is a juggling show, so people thought, oh, this is a kid show too, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
So there was a little, it was okay. I mean, I also went with a producer, which was very nice, and a PR, I had a PR person, and my apartment was paid for. It was great. Hey, how do we go back to Union Square? Do you know where we're going? Left, all right.
Yep.
So it was like such a great experience. I didn't take any days off.
Yeah.
I would do as many promo shows as I could. Got some good press.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, nothing really like came of it. But I'd love to go back this year and do it.
Yeah, I think
I would do it much differently. The smaller venue. We had a 200-seat venue.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
It was wild. We sold it out like twice.
Yeah, I feel like smaller the better for me, because it's like mine was like a 50 seat, and on a Tuesday it's like, okay, 18 people. My goal was in my head was like just never go below double digits. I was like, if I get 10 people there every time, I'd be happy, and on weekends it'd be packed, but
Now that might seem not like a lot of people to people watching, but Edinburgh, like the average audience is like 3 or 7 people, right?
yeah.
Because there's so many shows there. It's so hard to get even like 10 people into a show.
I will say this, I just thought of this, but that's actually one of the things that I wonder if I got more and more, and it sounds like a story of failure, and maybe it is, I don't care, but I think I got more and more into like the smaller gigs that I did, the more I'm like, it sucks when you're doing a comedy show for 4 people, but when you're like, as long as 4 people are listening,
Yeah.
or 8 people are listening, and I think doing Edinburgh for sometimes like, 10 people, I think that was the sort of thing I was like leaned into just communicating a story to them rather than being like, I need you all to like come together as an audience to laugh at each punchline. And I think that going to the festival probably really helped with that.
Oh, for sure.
Because then I enjoyed it more because I'm like, because you really are thankful instead of being like, where's the 40 other people? You're like, thank you, 10 people.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's great, especially in Edinburgh. I mean, any other place, I'd be like, oh, that's not so good.
Yeah, yeah.
But do you know what room you're going to be playing, or like what?
No, I'm applying now to, I did Free Fringe last time, so I might do I'd like to do like the Underbelly or
cool.
a Free Fringe type thing. Any like small little cavernous place.
Yeah, and you're going to go for the whole time, you think?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Very cool.
I feel like you got to go all 27 days.
I agree.
You gotta fight off a flu, stay out till 5.
Yep, that's what happens.
Climb a mountain.
I vlogged every single day I was there.
Really?
I posted it to I think they're on my Facebook page still.
Man, you're like, you get it done.
I mean, I do it. I don't know if anyone sees it, but it's just all it was part of my show too, that I was like making vlogs. So like I said, it's part of my show, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah. It's part of the story. So the through line to my show was that I was making these daily vlogs while I was there.
I have a question. What's your like mental peak for your juggling career? Like, what was the point? Because you have talked to me about like you push past. Reminds me of Nate Bargatze, like his dad getting out of graduating from like magician to
from clown to magic.
Yeah.
Full-time magic.
And you're like when's the point that you're like, I gotta be comedian only and give up juggling, although you'll never give up juggling. It's always a part of you.
It's funny, it wasn't even my decision. It wasn't, like, I had a talk with my manager and he was like, let's stop juggling. It was like right when I signed with him, he was like, you've done pretty much all you can do with the juggling, which is true. Like, I was, I was doing corporate events, I was doing the cruises, I'd done it, I didn't have a show in Las Vegas, but that wasn't really anything I really like wanted to do at the time. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, he's like, you could just keep doing gigs for your whole life like you're doing, or we could try to grow you as a performer.
That's awesome.
And so I said, let's do that, because it's, I'm not afraid of like a challenge, and and I love telling jokes, and the comedy was always the main focus of my juggling show. It wasn't. I mean, if anyone saw it, it wasn't the juggling at all. Even though I was a good juggler for the most part, it was never like, I didn't take it as seriously, and I wasn't as good as a lot of other like technical jugglers, but I was as good as a lot of like comedy jugglers. Yeah. So it was just like, I got really sad though when he said that, because it was my identity for so long. And now it's funny because a lot of people don't even know that I used to juggle unless they hear me talk about it.
I think I was talking to someone about that the other day. I moved here to act. And it was so miserable the first 2 years.
Oh, I bet. It's so hard.
And I think of it now that I'm like, I was like sad when I first started doing stand-up, because I was like, I'm doing this in other, because this is really hard in the beginning and it sucks. And it means like, I'm not doing well as an actor. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's opened up so much of a world for me, and I'm thankful. But that first identity thing is funny. It's scary when you're just like, oh my gosh, I have to tell people. I moved here to tell people I was an actor, and now I'm like getting on stage doing stand. Like, I look back and it was only cool.
Yeah.
But in my head, it was just like, this is...
It felt like you were giving up almost, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Where did you move from? Was it like Pennsylvania or something?
From Ohio.
Ohio, that's right. I knew it was Midwest something.
Yeah.
Is Pennsylvania considered the Midwest, though?
It's the Mideast.
Yeah, Mideast.
No, I went to school in Pittsburgh, so...
Oh, okay.
I went to Point Park University.
Oh, I've been there.
Really?
Yeah.
For a gig?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, when I was first there, they were like, go to this cafeteria room for like, we brought in like a rapper for the college students, and it was Wiz Khalifa.
Whoa.
So I saw Wiz Khalifa in a room with like 13 other people.
Before he was like pretty famous?
Yeah. And then
that's so cool.
My friends, the film majors there, filmed the Black and Yellow music video.
Really?
Yeah.
Did he go there? Did he go to that school?
He lived in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
And I think they just DM'd him on MySpace, and they're like, we'll make music videos for you. And he's like,
wow.
Hell yeah. So
that's great. I love how that happens.
Yeah.
I saw Big Sean and Mike Posner before they were big.
Wow.
And then, it was pretty fun. I got Big Sean to sign a CD for my younger brother, who was like a big fan of his. He was giving out like free CDs. Shows you how long ago that was.
Dude, it's
like 2008 or something.
Those guys hustle. Like Master P and all the old crew.
Oh,
like,
man.
Those people that just sell CDs out of their trunk, like, or all the like Cash Money guys, like early days. It's so like impressive.
There's no other way to do it, really. That was
No.
before social media. Oh, is this like a protest over here?
We should go to the protest.
We should. Well, we don't know what they're protesting.
It's more a social event for me.
Oh, you like to just be around amongst people?
Yeah, I like making signs. So it just gives me an outlet for my passion for sign making.
You're good at.
How you doing?
Hey, good.
Good.
Do you get FOMO?
Yeah, yeah. If there's two opposing protests, I kind of like. I'm like, oh, which group do I want to hang out with? You know?
Yeah. But like when your friends are doing something and like you're not there, do you get like, ah?
Yeah. That FOMO ruined like a decade of my life.
Oh, really?
It also made it better, but it was like, anytime you're just like, now I don't get it as much, but I would just stay out way too late because I'd be like, what if I go home and they have fun without me?
Right.
And then I wake up the next day and I'm like, well, now I'm tired.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, I like being in the action.
Okay. Maybe let's veer left here.
Yeah, I wonder, we got something going on.
You know what? I wonder if Kamala Harris is over there.
Oh, yeah?
I think so. Maybe let's walk around the other block. We'll go take a right on 11th and see. Because they had signs that said like VP Harris or something.
Wow.
So maybe it'd be fun to get her on a talkie-walkie.
You think?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome. Hey, if she would do it.
I mean, hey, you want to win in 2024? You got to do the talkie-walkie.
Yeah, she'd be like, all right, let's go.
Let's go. I don't know. It's I don't really talk about politics much. It's just too what's the word?
Divisive?
Yeah, divisive. And I don't pay attention enough to like. It's too much on both sides. I'm just like
My friend said something yesterday, and he's like, he was talking about. He's like, it'd be great to commit a felony and then you never have to talk about who you're going to vote for again.
Oh, that's funny.
Because felons aren't allowed to vote.
That is true.
And
That's true.
I was like, that seems like there's some...
It's a loophole.
There's a loophole. You figured it out.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, we're gearing up for... there's going to be a lot of that.
Yeah.
You know, I like being informed, and then after a while, I was like, honestly, being informed really has not... really benefited my life that much.
My wife listens to the news all day, every day. So I'm just like, I hear it, but I don't retain it. And then she's like, hey, do you want to watch the news? I'm like, no. Nothing's ever good on.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Oh, man. I'm excited you're going back to Edinburgh. I was introduced to a lot of amazing acts in Edinburgh. I saw Sam Simmons. Have you ever seen him?
Simmons, no.
He's an Australian comedian. So funny. If you get a chance to see him, absolutely do it. Who else did I see that was? I mean, I just saw a ton of shows.
Oh yeah.
Like, are you a guy that like tries to see?
Oh yeah.
Like a show a day or something?
Yeah, I try and see. I mean, when I'm there, I try and see as much as I can,
Yeah.
as much as your like brain allows you to, because you're like. But I was introduced to this one guy who I ended up loving. He's a little older, but his name's Daniel Kitson.
Oh.
And he's like big, very interesting storyteller.
Yeah.
And super funny. And someone just told me about him there. That's where I saw, when I went there the first time, there's just some people that, because that's their whole world over there. It's a different like ecosystem.
Oh, it truly is.
And there's just like people doing different longer form stuff. So you just get to see like someone's whole vision for what a show could be. And there's so many. So there's ones that are great and ones that aren't good, but it really does expand your mind of what you can do over the course of an hour.
Oh, sure.
You know?
I mean, there's so much weird performance art.
Yeah.
There's just like people who are naked for the entire hour of their show. There was a show where it was a popular comedy show. I got to perform on it, and they were like, if anyone from the audience has a show and they want to promote it, they can, but they have to get completely naked to promote it.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah.
I think that I was like, oh, that's kind of fun.
Like,
I love some nudity in a show.
yeah.
Love it.
That's what I need to add for my new show. I can figure out a way to get naked.
Would you get naked on stage?
Yeah.
You would?
I don't know. In the
I
right
wouldn't.
context.
I don't think I would.
I don't think I would to go do stand-up for a thing. I would if it was in a play. You know the play Equus?
Yeah, oh yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah, I would
I saw Daniel Radcliffe.
I would have to have there'd have to be some modicum of artfulness to it.
Right, can you hold this for a second?
Yep.
I gotta tie my shoe.
Yep.
Okay, so we just turned the corner, and it looks like there are more protesters over here. Or maybe they're supporters, I don't even know.
Wow.
Look at that.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, baby. Tying my shoe. TalkieWalkie. All right, let's just go see what's
Yeah, let's see what's up.
see what's up. All right. Now, I don't want to... All right, I'm going to flip the camera so people can see what we see. So far, just a bunch of people. What do we have going on over here? What do we got going on over here? What is this, I wonder?
All right.
You want to go to the street up there?
I'm not sure what this is.
Thank you, guys.
Oh, I think it's a Palestine.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
should we walk back uptown?
this
What
is
are we doing?
What's up?
crossing the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you ever see videos?
Harris, you will see. Harris, you will see.
Have you ever seen like "Am I Being Detained" videos?
Oh yeah.
Because
Am I free to go?
yeah, because there's a thing that it's like, I'm just like, keep your head down. I don't want to cause any trouble. But
Same.
It's like, hey boys, what are you doing? And part of me does want to be like, what's it? It's not your fucking business.
Yeah, I know.
Like, what do you mean?
What are you doing?
We're walking. We're doing TalkieWalkie.
You're trying to tell me you don't know what this is? You haven't seen me on the YouTube, sir? Come on, you know exactly what we're doing.
This is Marcus Monroe. I'm Kevin
Yeah.
James Doyle. We're doing a TalkieWalkie. What are you doing?
What are you doing? You need to fess up to your crimes.
Yeah, I do think, you know, with protests, I would just have a hard time being in a group of people saying rhyming things.
Oh yeah.
Like there's something maybe important about that, because you have to. But it's like as adults, like doing rhyming chants, just automatically childish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see.
Like it's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
No matter what, chant.
Hi hat. Hey, ho.
For 20 degrees, it's really not bad.
No, but the feels like is like 10. Which I never understood the feels like. If it feels like 10, shouldn't it just be 10 degrees?
Yes, I 100% agree with that.
Yeah, I'll send a message to Tim Apple.
Dude, if we go to Fringe together, we'll do one in Scotland.
Oh, that would be so fun.
Yeah.
I really want to see it. I think I already have a gig booked this year in August, but maybe I would do like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, just to like go and see shows.
Yeah.
Be fun. All right, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm Kevin James Doyle at everything from Venmo to Instagram to X to Gmail. Just Kevin James Doyle for everything.
Love it. .com?
Kevin James Doyle. KevinJamesDoyleComedy.com actually.
Ooh.
I think I have both. And yeah, check me out there. And also I write on Substack. That's the thing I do most consistently these days.
What is Substack?
I like write essays.
Oh, okay.
And then I record them so you can listen to them. But it's like my way of getting stuff out every week.
That's
is
cool.
on there. Yeah.
Content, baby.
That's what you got to do.
That's the name of the game. Kevin Doyle, we did. Wait, let's get to a. Can we get to a spot? There we go. All right, everyone, follow Kevin James Doyle, all the platforms. We did it. TalkieWalkie.
Let's see if I got an email from my agent.
Oh yeah.
Let's see. How cool would it be if I got?
Come on.
No word.
No word.
No word yet.
Come on. You might see you on FBI as a pedo. Yeah. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and or watch another one. Watch another video. Could be fun. I don't know. Could be cool. You're already this far.